My name is Pascal. I'm CEO and co-founder of Enit, and I would like to share some thoughts about data and software in the next 15 minutes, and how we can bring everything together: the energy data, the data from ERP systems, and also the emission data from our footprint software. Why is it important to bring it together? I think all of you know, when you started to make your first or your yearly footprint calculation, that it is important to have the data from all the systems together. But it gets even more important if you look 10 years in the future, because if you look on the energy market, there are really clear models how the market will develop when we increase the share of renewables. And one thing that is already clear now, and what you can already observe now, is that energy will be available at some times like almost for free. It will be there, and it has to be. It is more challenging to consume it than instead of switching off the photovoltaic or the wind power that is available. On the other hand, there will also be timing or hours where energy will be not available and where energy will be really expensive. So what is important for all the businesses and for the society and for the economy, that we make energy become an controllable size for the businesses. And on the other hand, of course, when you want to make your footprint calculation rapidly, you need all the data together, and therefore it is not enough to work with Excel. You need to integrate different systems. What do we do as Enit? We help industrial plants to identify, to understand, and to reduce energy emissions and, of course, costs. And since last year, we are part of the ProAlpha group, and there we, together with our group companies, we help industrial plants on the way through decarbonization and energy transmission. And what do we do at Enit? We do energy management and carbon management. We have more than 200 customers in whole Europe, as you can see here on some of the references. What do they all have in common? They all consume a lot of energy. Most of them consume more than 10 million kilowatt hours per year and plant. And as you can see, we provide our system and our solution to many of those of industrial segments. We belong to ProAlpha, which means that one challenge to bring all the data together is that we have different software domains. As you know, there are a lot of suppliers of emission tracking software, and they know exactly how to, the product manager and the software developer, they know exactly how to calculate your footprint according to GHG, but they might not know how they can read out the metering data of your billing meter to get the scope 2 emission directly into your footprint calculation. It gets even more complicated if you look on all the ERP data or the MES data or the procurement data, which you also need to integrate into your footprint calculation. The challenge is that there are different software domains, and no one knows everything from end to end. And there we have the advantage that as one group, we have different companies which bring together the different domains. Like we from Enit, we do energy management and CO2 management. But for example, QComp, they provide a software for e-procurement, so that we have a shortcut to bring together the different experts. Today, emissions equals energy, and energy equals costs. So the advantage is, if you want to reduce your emissions, you can and you use an energy management system which is integrated into your carbon management, then you of course can also take advantage of reduction of costs when you increase your energy efficiency, and of course you get more competitive and you fulfill the regulation. Well, to sum it up, what does Enit do? We have two software systems, energy management and carbon management, and of course we pick up the customers where they are, which means that we provide also all the services that you need to start to get the next step done, independent where you are. Some already have several footprints calculated, others don't have anything and need at first some education to know how to do it. Now I would like to dive into the requirements on data interfaces. And therefore, I would like to start with some quotes of our customers, and maybe you see you find yourself in some of those quotes, because today, if you ask what are the challenges to bring together the energy data, the ERP data, the BI data, then most or many customers still say that they use Excel, and it's a lot of effort to pull everything together, and it's even difficult to see how the vision of having everything on one click together, how this might be possible one day for many of the customers. And for us as a software company, it's also difficult to understand the customer in detail, because sometimes they don't say us exactly for what they need to combine the data. They say they want to have it, but they don't say, okay, I need it for this reason or for this reason. So yeah, some other quotes, as you can see here on the right top, some customers also say that they need to integrate energy data and production data to improve the pricing, which is also one side effect that might be an advantage for you when you increase the automation for your footprinting software. So now to dive more into the details, what are in our opinion today the most important use cases where you need to bring data together? The first thing is, of course, the calculation of the CO2 footprint based on ERP data, and maybe also on e-procurement data and energy management data. Why? Because in the energy management system, there you have the scope 1 and scope 2 data, and the scope 3 data usually must be provided from the procurement or the MES. So that's one use case that is quite common in our observation of the market. And the other use cases are all more related to the calculation of the product carbon footprint, not the corporate carbon footprint, which is the first one, but all other three are more related to the product carbon footprint, where of course you need a lot of more data quality. And if you look at the product carbon footprint and the scope 2 of the product carbon footprint, then you must start with the energy key performance indicator, which link the production data and the energy management data. And there are two options, or basically there are three options. You can calculate this KPI either in the energy management system, which is this one, the first one. Therefore, you must take the data from the ERP or the machine execution system and integrate it into the energy management software. Or second, you can do it the other way around. You take the data from the metering and energy management and put it into the ERP. Or the third one is you do it in a third-party application, like for example, a business intelligence software. And therefore, I would like to show you some examples. But first, again, how we are positioned to provide this combination is that we have in our group all the data sets available that you need for automation, which means not that you need to have all the solutions of our group, but which means that we have the knowledge of all of these software domains together in one house, which makes it easier to implement these interfaces. And now to show you some examples. This is one customer of us. It's called SFB, Schwäbische Formdrehteile. It's a typical mid-sized company which provides components for the automotive sector, and for all of them, it's really challenging to get all the Scope 3 data into the carbon footprint calculation software. And what we did here is that we configured one export view of the ProAlpha ERP system in a way that we can directly integrate it into our footprint calculation. And therefore, some of you might know it, when you start with some export configuration of your ERP system, the problem is that there's data missing. You don't have the data that you need for your footprint. You need the emission factor, and you need the amount to calculate the emission of each item. And so usually when you do it the first time, like they did for the first time, you just recognize which data is missing, and in the second year you can extend the quality of data to make it more and more optimized. And so that is one experience I would like to share, that each time when you make your footprint calculation for the CCF, for the corporate carbon footprint, you should try to extend or improve your data set, because you can only, for example, now it's important, we have 2 months left in this year to set up your ERP system in a way that you have the whole year to 2024 a better data set than this year, to have in 2025 a better footprint calculation. So it's quite the timing is quite slow, so that you should now care especially for the data quality. And another example is this one. How can you integrate the energy data into your ERP system? Therefore, we have the possibility to get the metering data from the energy consumption with a kind of plug-and-play solution, and then we can provide the data with an open interface to any ERP or MES system. In this case, it was also ProAlpha, so that at the end you have for each process, for each machine, and for each order, the amount of energy and the emissions that are linked to these steps inside your ERP system, that you can easily access this via dashboards or another BI software. BI software is the third use case that I mentioned before. Here are also some examples how you can show or how you can visualize the dashboard for especially for the executives, because normally they don't look into energy management or carbon footprint software. They want to have it presented in their BI controlling dashboard, and therefore we have templates for Microsoft BI or Qlik or Nemo. Nemo is an AI software where you can also make optimized analytics to find correlations between consumption and for example the products that are produced. And yeah, here are some other examples how it can look like in Microsoft BI or in Qlik, which are quite common BI software applications used in the industrial sector. If you want to know more, of course you are invited to visit me there at our small stand over there. And we also have one possibility to try our carbon footprint software for free. And therefore I have some small cards which you can scan, and then you can register and use it to have a look on it. And we also provide each week a new video on our YouTube channel related to all the subjects related to decarbonization or the energy transition, where you can learn maybe the one or the other thing, or you can also attend our webinar if you want to know more about one of the topics. Thank you for your attention, and I'm looking forward to meet you there or later on. My colleague is unfortunately sick, so I'm alone. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Pascal.